Welcome to the GNL show.
This week's cast involves me, Greg, Tim, and our special guest, Gordo.
From forth the questionable minds of Greg and Liberty, we bring you the GNL show.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you got his name right.
Yeah. It's too. I was like, oh, he's not going to get it.
That's what I was expecting.
Because he kind of chirped on, I forgot already, but I'm sorry.
I had to literally look into
I was just going to be honest.
Yeah. Alright, so before we go into today's topics, let's give Gordo a chance to give himself a plug.
Hi. Is that my plug? I don't know. What should I say for a plug?
Just promote yourself. Shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion? Alright, I am a Call of Duty channel, and also I'm trying to get a little bit more Battlefield into there. Currently in the process of uploading a lot more stuff, like kind of series and stuff. I have a custom class series going currently. Also, I'm trying to join a team for Call of Duty for the upcoming season of Black Ops. So I can't wait for that. So I'll probably bring a lot more of that.
Yes.
All I got, really.
And he's also a Call of Duty channel, as well as kind of like a Review Tech USA type channel.
A little bit, yeah. I'm trying to stray away from that, but I'm also doing a little bit of that. Yeah.
It's pretty good content. Link will be in the description to go check him out, and then you guys know how to go find Tim and Griffin.
Yep.
Swaggered.
So
go to hell.
Yeah.
What happens if they don't?
Instructions in the description.
Okay.
Do you post instructions?
I will post instructions.
I can't.
How to subscribe?
Yes.
Like, click on link.
Step 1, click this link. Step 2, give us your credit card information to verify your age.
And with that, we should probably start the actual show.
Slash trust Captain Hook for the
So, the very first thing I would like to talk about is the 301 Plus Club is officially gone from YouTube.
Sad face.
YouTube officially, or finally, I guess is probably the more correct term, finally figured out an algorithm to real-time sort views at the 301 marker.
So why did it get stuck on that particular number anyway?
Okay, so I saw a little infographic, and maybe I'll pop it up here on the screen, if I remember. So basically, the way they compared it was you pretty much... It was like all the views coming through, and they got thrown into a basket to be sorted at a later date. Because basically, once it starts getting up to that point, they want to start sorting through for bot views versus real views.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. But then, so the problem at that point becomes, like I said, they were doing it in that kind of basket way. Mm-hmm. And the infographic shows like a pipeline now is the way they figured it out.
Okay.
So they're now like real-time sorting.
Okay, I just never understood why it got hung up at that particular number, but now that... Okay.
That number never specifically made sense.
Right.
Yeah. But it is now figured out so it can... Jump cut.
Well,
That's really neat, though.
Hold on. It is now figured out so I can real-time sort all the way through. Sorry, guys, I accidentally hit F12 and stopped the recording.
That's good.
So that's why you have that little jump there.
Sometimes I've recorded an entire thing of paintball and it didn't record my audio, but...
That is true. You have done that.
Yep.
Why does that remind me of something?
I don't know.
Alright, so that's enough about that. There was no real discussion there. It was just...
Hey, no, we had to discuss this.
No, that one I just
we gotta talk about how weird it is.
I demand it.
Why it took them so long to figure this out.
Because it's a team of incompetent monkeys slinging shit back and forth over there at Google. It's the same people who created Google Plus.
Which is now, I think that's now gone. It's going to be gone
Plus
soon.
is no longer associated with YouTube. You no longer need Google Plus to use YouTube.
Which it took them this long to figure that out, that social media and YouTube should not be combined together.
They're actually apologizing for Google Plus.
Are they really?
Yeah,
I would
they should.
Came out with all the trolling videos when it came to like Call of Duty and stuff. People would just be like, "I am Google Plus" or whatever. It was funny but weird too.
I mean, Google Plus combined with YouTube is an interesting idea, but
it should
wasn't.
Yeah, a lot of people I know hated that idea, and I agree with why. I mean, it sucks, but I didn't really bitch about it. So I just kind of said, "All right, well, this is what it is. I don't care." But I bet a lot of people didn't use it. It's a thing.
Right. So, Google is finally making, like, some good calls, but you know who's not making good calls? It's Microsoft.
Sam? Oh, okay.
I was going to say the refs in the NFL, but all right. Or Goodell. Sorry. Goodell.
Too. You're not wrong.
Side shot.
Yeah. I have to. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a pissed off one at that. We won't talk about that. I don't want to. Yeah. We can't talk about that.
That'll make a lot of people salty, especially Tim is a Seahawks fan.
I'm not a Seahawks fan.
Why did I think you were a Seahawks fan?
That's a good question. I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got 6
How's
rings.
Roethlisberger treating you?
He's doing just fine.
He's a good quarterback. Just, needs a little bit more help. That's all.
Well, doesn't everybody?
Well, I guess. I mean, I need help too, but I'm not getting it.
Yeah. All
I like esports. It was part of the NFL.
Yes, of course. But anyways, yeah, Microsoft, with all the other Windows 10 stuff about, for example, the fact that it's by default set to share your bandwidth with all other Windows 10 users to use your downloaded updates to help their updates come faster for even computers not on your network. That's a fun one. But, you know how Windows 10, when you do the update, it gives you the option to do a rollback to your previous OS?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's only available for 30 days.
Ooh.
So it just kind of disappears. Now, for the average user, they're not going to find major bugs that quick if they're only on, an hour a day.
Right.
So, that's a thing.
Potentially a bad thing for them.
Exactly.
Like me. I would never notice any of this. I would be on the OS. Everyone complained about what's it called? Windows 8, and it took me I think 3 days to figure all that out. Of how to just go to my desktop.
Oh, I know.
It was awful. I would not. I'm not very tech savvy, so I would not be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only person that thinks Windows Kate when I can't talk.
Windows Kate. It's like Cortana, but better.
I feel like I'm the only person that thinks Windows 8 was okay, not terrible.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was any problem.
I never had a problem with 8, and I thought 8.1 was a lot better. I happen to really like 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I still prefer 7, but...
Yeah, well, I prefer 8 and 10 because of the background optimizations they made to make it run better on lesser hardware.
7 is love, 7 is life.
I was a 7 fan. I liked 7.
Yeah, I liked 7 for a while too, until I started using Windows 8.1, and now when I try to... I don't know what just happened there.
You just pause and you're like, I don't know. What
I forgot what I was even talking about.
I just got a bright white flash in my face, and
that's not good.
But yeah, and then the other thing is, it's possible that when you do the rollback, you lose the ability to go to Windows 10 for free.
Oh.
So I gotta let you discuss that one for a minute. I have a thing to go take care of, so feel free to discuss that and then move on to the next topic.
Okay. Well,
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either because that kind of gives them you know what, maybe we should do something so that now they have to buy our product instead of not getting it for free. Now, that's granted, that's being the kind of the darker side of thinking. Bad Microsoft. They're going to find a way to charge us for this somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Microsoft doesn't always have the world's best track record anyway.
Right.
I mean, look, might as well just bring up something that I can actually really understand is the Xbox. Remember how they marketed that piece of junk, and they basically told everyone to go screw themselves at the start, and now they're kissing ass. Right. Which I guarantee they'll do the same thing with this. Is that they'll be it's basically kind of like the big FU for the people who don't know computers well, and then they're gonna kind of go back and be like, oh well, we didn't know, sorry. Here's this as a compensation or something.
Right. I don't understand why they're trying to make their what they're calling it, the Edge, Microsoft Edge, and they're saying it's not Internet Explorer. Well, it's got the same damn logo.
Right.
So
which Internet Explorer, I think they even understand is it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I use Google Chrome, so...
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Chrome, goodness, Chrome, yeah.
And I don't understand why they're trying to make it, that you have to. I guess I do, because that's what Microsoft does. But, I mean, come on, don't force feed me that Edge crap browser that's
Oh,
Yeah.
and the fact that they want to make all of their services defaults right away.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, headshot.
That's all I got to say about that. I don't know if anybody else has.
Remember that one time when Microsoft fired off its entire testing team?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I don't remember that. I think I probably got it blocked out.
Oh yeah, I couldn't blame you.
Just another great example of an oopsie made by Microsoft.
Right.
Well, they always have their very questionable decisions, no matter what. It could be like the smallest little thing. And there was a game I remember came out like a long. This is back, I think, God, probably about maybe 2008, maybe 2000, whenever Modern Warfare 2 was out and are starting to come out. It was that 1 vs 100. I don't know if you ever played that on the Xbox 360, but they never brought it back after a while, and everyone kind of was scratching their head, kind of going, "Why?" Because that was probably one of the biggest games on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember that.
You know, it was like that one. It's like it was one person against 100 people, and basically you could just go into one game with your friends and you just cheat for like the entire time. And I think you could win Microsoft points or something. I don't know if it was just you or the one or.
So they canceled it instead of fixing it.
No, there wasn't really any problem. It was fun. It was meant to be a game show for everyone. That's how I think that's how it was supposed to be going. But for some reason they just didn't pick it up. Which I know the actual show itself is gone, but I don't know why they didn't pick it up. And they want to bring it back, some concept of it back after like years, but probably won't happen.
Oh god, smoke grenade.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic.
Yes. So the next topic, Intel is releasing their new Skylake architecture in what seems to be very rushed fashion since their last Broadwell architecture was delayed like a year, and now they're already coming out with this one. And the problem is they're talking about their next architecture originally was supposed to be on the new 10 nanometer chip, but Skylake is coming out on a 14 nanometer chip still. But it's slated for release August 18th. So it's coming out soon, but it feels like almost too soon compared to their last architecture change. And it's forcing everyone to go to DDR4 and all that stuff. But it should be a friendlier chip architecture to do overclocking on, so that makes me kind of excited. I feel like everyone's just lost.
You numbered me, Greg.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked into this topic and I'm like, I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
I was hoping like you guys would get it, and I just sit there and be like, I'm out for this one. Like tag out for whoever wouldn't answer the last one.
Yeah, I guess this one's all me then to talk about.
No, I
I'll
can
try my
talk
best
about
to
it.
throw in something random.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's coming out within a couple of days. Makes me relatively happy, but I don't know if I'm exactly in any. Actually, what makes it very interesting for me is with the. I have already forgotten the name of the next AMD architecture that's going to be coming out, but slated release for next year. Why is this escaping me? I'll put a little thing up on the screen right now to say what I can't remember. But since they didn't make the move to 10 nanometer, I think it'll be a lot more interesting of a competition when this new AMD architecture comes out next year.
I heard. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I heard you mention DDR5 or 4.
Yeah.
And so that's the type of RAM chip, right?
Correct.
RAM, yeah, because I have one computer that still uses the DDR2, but and that's an older computer, obviously. So isn't the DDR4s are not compatible with the 3s or what?
Correct. They're a different socket.
Really?
Well, all RAM is a slightly different socket.
Okay.
It has to do with like memory buffer size and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, they're basically some motherboard manufacturers for Skylake will be compatible with DDR3L, but that's still not DDR3. So if you go to this new Skylake platform, which is really just going to give you a slight overclock performance compared to the previous Broadwell, you're going to have to do a lot of hardware upgrades. You know, motherboard, because you have to do motherboard because it's a new CPU socket.
Okay.
And RAM, because you need to go to DDR3L or DDR4. So you're talking like a $700-800 upgrade.
Oh, and then Skynet will be online.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Why do Skynet? You can do GroundNet.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't even know.
Let us know in the comments.
Right. But yeah, so that's a thing. So I think they just kind of rushed it out, and it's gonna let AMD regain some traction, I think.
Think they did that on purpose?
What, Intel?
Yeah.
No, because I think they just want to wreck AMD.
Okay.
Because AMD just lost a whole lot of market share with previous to their R9 Fury launches and their R9 300 series launches, and then those were kind of a flop compared to what they were supposed to be.
Oh.
Because they were touting, the most powerful GPUs ever. And that being said, the R9 390 was regularly performing the R9 Fury, which was the second to top of the line card, was regularly performing, and in some cases outperforming, the GTX 980. And the 390X was on par with the 980 Ti, but nothing was quite touching that. Nothing was even touching the Titan X. So NVIDIA still dominates the market in terms of the highest power GPU. However, the R9 390 that came out is the new price for dollar per performance king, beating out that GTX 970, which previously held the title. Because you're getting about a 10% performance boost over the GTX 970 at about $20 or $30 less. So that's good.
Oh.
So that helps AMD out a little bit, but they're still struggling, especially compared to like Nvidia and then Intel in the CPU realm. But right. I guess IBM PowerPC is making a comeback because IBM is working on processors again.
Really?
So I think it would be interesting I don't think it would happen. I think it would be very interesting to see if we went back to PowerPC MacBooks. And
that would be interesting.
The PowerPC chip. Because I think the last Apple product that used PowerPC was like G4 of like the Mac Mini and the iMac. Maybe G5.
Oofda.
Because I think it's a G5 iMac that I had that has the PowerPC chip in it still.
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
But I know by like 2007, 2008, they were into Intel. So, I don't know. But it should be interesting. But that's enough of that, since no one else wants to hear me talk any longer.
That's a complicated topic.
Yeah.
If you want to hear Greg keep talking, tell us in the comment section below.
The answer is probably
no.
Well, I don't think that's going to be... Well, alright, never mind. I was going to put down a different answer that I would probably say, but it starts with go, and then you figure out the rest. You kids fill in the blanks.
Alright, so while we're on the subject of PowerPC Macs, let's go right into the next topic, which is...
Segue!
Yeah, exactly. Perfect segue. Researchers, specifically 2 of them, found out that a firmware vulnerability that has been affecting most of the top PC makers is also possible to break Mac firmware. They specifically created a proof of concept worm, which is a type of malware. Worm, it's a descriptive title for how it gets into your system. But basically, it's a firmware hack that can then spread MacBook to MacBook, even if they're not on the same network.
That's a problem.
That's a bit of a blunder, huh?
That's a huge problem.
Huh.
Yeah. And
so
that's a thing.
We created a virus to take care of a virus.
Yeah.
Sounds, I don't know.
I mean...
Well, because isn't Apple like pretty much known for having like the computers or like whatever the software that basically is virus proof?
I mean, yes, that's become less and less true over the past couple of years, though, as they've increased in market share.
Okay.
I mean, they're still not dominating, but basically the thing is they were not a widespread enough platform for people to actually waste their time developing viruses.
Right.
But that's no longer the case. But basically the way this works, it has not been seen in actual viruses yet, but it allows hackers to remotely target machines, even on totally different ones, in a way that won't be detected by security scanners. And then the attacker would have a persistent, like a really good foothold on those machines, because this worm is able to reinstall itself even as you do updates to the machine.
And then Skynet's online.
Right, exactly.
Sounds like a bad deal.
So basically the only way you can get rid of this is, well, really throw out your machine. Which is obviously a bad option.
I knew it sounded like a bad deal.
Very much so. Because it's either throw out your machine, or open up the machine, get to the chip that contains the firmware, and you have to go in, you have to do a jumper connection to erase the firmware, and then reflash the firmware.
That sounds...
And Apple does not release the firmware.
Right.
Yeah, see, screw that. Like, I would just toss it, cut my losses.
Out the window.
Well, not even out the window. I'd just throw it on the highway. Someone's going to want it or something.
Out the car window.
Sure.
That's literally...
I don't care. I'm doing a favor to people, all right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you should be doing to your Mac. Motherfucker, like...
I'm pretty close with this next topic I'm going to bring up. This is an Apple blunder that, for me, might put me off of Apple, and I might make the switch over to the Razer Blade because I love the aesthetic of it.
It's nice.
I mean, that's one of the reasons I've kept with Apple for a while, is the aesthetic, and I get to run both OSs, but it's not beneficial to me to run OS 10 with this next glitch that's been mentioned. So, it's a 0-day attack right now, and that no one really can defend against it. And this is going to get really technical, so I'm going to try to dumb it down.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So basically, in the latest update, which unfortunately I did put on my main laptop, didn't know about this when I did it, but that's not making me happy right now. Apple added the functionality to basically take an arbitrary log file and write that to any file that the user wants. Not bad in and of itself.
Right.
But they didn't really properly secure that functionality.
Oops.
Yeah. It's nothing like specifically terrible that they did. They just kind of put it in the wrong directory. Oh crap, that's a white flash. I don't know what's going on anymore. Anyways, yeah, so they put it in the wrong directory. So Malwarebytes has actually now found a virus in the wild that uses this. So what it allows is this command, since it's not properly secured, it can even access root and restricted files and overwrite critical system files.
Alt F4?
Alt F4ing everything.
Okay.
So,
Oofda.
yeah. The one that was discovered by Malwarebytes in particular is able to get root permissions on the machine via a Unix shell, and it doesn't require a password when they do it that way, because they're able to create themselves to get pseudo privileges, or short for super user privileges. So they are able to then get full access to your machine, do whatever installing they need to do to your machine, and then because it has those super user privileges, it is then able to uninstall itself without you being aware. And then it just lets whatever it installed stay on your machine for a while.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Hopefully that gets cleared up soon, because, with all the schools using MacBooks.
Oh, I know, right? Well, nice thing is, I might just put my 15-inch to the side for now. And I still have my 13-inch, which is on the previous version of Yosemite, which does not have that feature. So now I just have to worry about it, the firmware hack that lets it infect cloud computers and get infected by cloud computers, right?
Right.
Yeah, I might
That's
be
all.
switching to the Razer Blade soon.
I love my Razer Blade. It's a Pro, but I love it.
I like my Razer too.
See, I'm not going to get the Razer Blade Pro because I want the centered keyboard and I don't want the that little digital trackpad on there.
I can understand that.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not either, but I'm not really using that side of the keyboard anyway, if you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. You're not really using the keyboard much.
Not really, no. But I can see how I can see why you would not want that there.
Yeah. For me, I don't like the off-centered keyboards. Yeah. So so I might be switching to the Razer Blade Pro. My previous argument is if I'm going to buy a high-quality laptop, I can easily tell myself why I could spend, $1,600-$1,700, or even in the case of my current MacBook, $3,400.
Jesus. That's a lot.
When it has top-of-the-line hardware and I can run 2 operating systems on it.
Suppose.
I could justify that one. But now OS X is not necessarily what I need to be running. Based on the information discussed.
True.
Yeah. So anyone want to chime in on that one? I know you're an Apple user as well, Griffin.
Well, this doesn't really affect me because I don't like updating my Apple firmware.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So you're still on that older version.
Yeah, I'm still on, 10.8.6 or something.
Oh, so you're still back in, Mountain Lion.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're good. You have no issues whatsoever with any of these security breaches.
Yeah.
That's a good
And also, I like my Razer as well. It shaves nice.
Ha 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 ha.
Boy, that's
He
what I'm
made a
talking about,
joke.
He's a
made
funny.
a funny.
Oh well, we can't say it's funny, but we'll just say he made the attempt at a joke.
That's Griffin.
That
But it-
is-
right? If you think it's funny, don't
Hit
let us know in the
thumbs up.
comments.
If you
Comment
think Griffin's
below.
joke was funny, let us know in the comment section below.
Comment a 1 down below.
Comment 1 down below if you didn't think it was funny. Tell Griffin to go f- himself.
Oh.
Can you insert a bleep at the end, at that point?
I can insert a duck quack that does not block it out.
Do it. That would be great. I love when
Ignore
people
for
think
Jesus.
Duck quack would be great.
All right, I
Oh,
will add that back in.
jeez. Please don't. Not the duck quack.
All right, but anyways, so let's move on to a topic we can all discuss now that we've done 3 or 4 that only I could talk about. So DJI, a very well-known drone and quadcopter company, is releasing a new model of the Phantom 3, which is one of their most recent drones, the Phantom 3 Standard. It's going to have an $800 price and it will be launching this upcoming summer. Or actually, I believe it
Wait.
should be launching by the end of this summer. So that's not a bad price. I'm happy at that price point. But the interesting thing, and it also has a 2.7K HD camera. Weird number, high quality. So I'm not super upset about that because it is a pretty, it's still a high quality camera. But they have this interesting mode that allows the camera to lock on to a subject in software and follow that subject. So
Holy
sh!
Wow. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire
It's
life.
been called stalker mode by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they probably put that in there for I'm hoping they put that in there for filmmakers. So they can just, here's my main star, follow him as he's walking. To me, that makes sense. But, yeah.
Yeah, what kind of filmmaker are you talking about, Danny?
No,
I'm thinking the ones that are the creepy ones at the home cameras
a lot of people are using drones for aerial photography and aerial cinematography for small film studios and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's a pretty common practice, but I I don't know how I feel about that still.
If it's going to be released to the public, that could bring up some issues.
Exactly. That's the type of thing that, like, sure, maybe it's in there. Maybe you just don't announce it to everyone.
Well, I think you should announce it. Like, oh yeah, there's this little drone following me. What? Why is it just like it's just watching me? Like, I don't know. I feel like that was a right move for them to tell people, but I think it was a bad move for them to put it in. Like, it's just. I think that's going to go wrong in so many ways.
I agree.
Yeah, like, did you ever see that South Park episode where, like, everyone in town got, like, the little drones or whatever, and they were flying around after, what was it? I forgot, one of the kids' moms got caught naked or something, and everyone in the town saw it. Yeah, and so they just kept making references to her area that I'm not going to talk about, but, yeah. Well, like, just the hair and everything, but, yeah. That, we were talking about that. And it was interesting, and it just kind of shows that that's going to be the future, that people are going to go crazy with these things, too.
Yeah, I tend to not really trust people necessarily. I don't think people are inherently bad, but I don't think the state of affairs right now is leading to them being inherently good.
Yeah.
Hasn't there been a big issue lately with, especially the DC airport having issues with drones getting in the way of actual airplanes?
Well, I got a better one for you. Up in California, they scheduled a water dump because there was another big fire, and there was a drone hovering over capturing footage of the fire, and they had to cancel the water dump because the drone was in the way.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like a big hexcopter or something like that. So it was probably like a news station's quadcopter.
That's, I don't know. I'm not a big drone guy. They could just stop. Just stop.
But yeah, so that's a thing. And then I guess there was another story about this guy. He saw a drone just kind of like hovering over the edge of his property, looking at the window of his daughter's room.
Oh, creepy.
He got his shotgun and shot it out of the sky.
Good for him.
Yeah. Go big or go home, in my opinion.
I mean, I agree entirely. I would have done exactly what he did, but
like, why that shotgun? Isn't that a bit excessive?
It was what he had. It was birdshot, though. It was with number 0 birdshot, so it had the least chance of injuring someone else.
I mean, I would have used like a BB gun and.
Got it. Go big or go home. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but yeah.
You want that thing gone? Make sure that owner knows. Like, don't mess with me.
I'm gonna take it out.
In my area, there was a house that was on fire, and the owner had a drone, and he set up the drone to see how the firemen were doing, and the firemen didn't like the drone up there, so they shot down the drone with their water hose.
That's fantastic. At that point, that's just like salt in the wound, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so that's a thing from DJI. Alright. Well,
God damn DJI.
And now we can get into some news that everyone can relate to. So LG just released a new smartphone?
Yeah, I saw this.
It's called the Wine.
Oh boy.
But it's basically...
It's a flip phone.
The Motorola Razr.
Now that was a good phone.
With a touch screen the size of like an iPhone 4.
That's just weird.
So it's basically an iPhone 4
flip phone.
That's running Android Lollipop 511. So the latest version of Android. It's a quote from LG. Our goal was to create a smartphone that fans of flip phones could embrace. Consumers shouldn't have to miss out on the smartphone revolution because they prefer a particular design over another.
My grandparents.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Just say that that's who you're marketing to.
Yeah, exactly. They're marketing to people who don't really want the big touchscreen phone and no physical buttons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
I'm fine as long as you just be honest with who you're targeting.
Yeah. I mean, I think they used some roundabout language to say
they
it,
did.
But they basically said just that. You know, they're targeting a very specific audience with this.
Life's good.
Yeah, life's good. Have a smartphone.
Well, it's not always great.
Yeah, that's why we said good.
And this is why we just all of a sudden went to a really dark place. We had a good place and then went to kind of a dark place of like,
Yeah.
life's not always that good. No, we have to tell these people life is great.
Life is great. Company slogan
unless you're
right
Greg.
there.
Um,
Yeah, unless you're Greg. And, yeah. All right.
sorry, I love
Wow. We're to our final topic of the evening.
you. Aw.
I think it was done over in European Union. I'm not exactly sure where it
Oh,
was
this
done, but the first 3D printed pill has been approved by U.S. authorities.
I'm for this.
I'm not going to go back to the article here. I think I remember enough about it. But basically, they were able to print a pill that was at the same size of like a standard pill, but like 10 times the dosage density or something like that.
It could be what it was. Is it could be adjusted to be whatever amount of dose.
Right.
It could be tailored to the person that it needs.
Right, exactly. But like my point was, they can get a lot denser too than we currently can with like current technology. I think was a part of the article. But the idea is that instead of hospitals just having to order mass quantities of medication and kind of use what's on hand, they can kind of tailor it custom to who's
Right.
actually getting treated. Like you just said.
Like one dose of 500 milligrams. You know, it could be
Yeah.
if somebody like say somebody that is say it's a female, it's 5'2", maybe 120 pounds, does not need the exact same dose as a male that is 6'3",
Yeah,
280.
someone my size.
Right. You know, it's a different dosage. And currently that's not available because the companies
Yeah, unless they like cut pills and
right, and
annoying
that's not
stuff
real
like that. No, let's just punch in the number, press print, wait a minute, and there it is.
Yep. I'm for this.
I am very much for it. And then the other thing is they can be a lot more precise about it because they know exactly how tightly they're packing it versus like a standard pill cartridge or something like that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it dissolves in the same exact way as, a pill currently.
Yep.
I think that's a
Even-
very good advancement.
Absolutely.
Even like chewables?
I mean, chewables technically would dissolve just probably at the same rate, actually, if you just left them in your mouth.
Probably wouldn't taste very good.
I doubt it. They don't taste very good anyways.
Oh, the grape isn't that bad.
You know what's funny? This is very much off topic. We'll get back to the topic at hand in just a moment.
Oh boy.
Why are Smarties a thing? You're basically chewing on chalk.
I don't know.
I haven't had a Smartie in a while. I don't even remember what they taste like because I just
They
remember
taste
not
like you're chewing on chalk.
Really?
Speaking of Smarties, I know some idiots in my school that would
Good
mash
segue.
up Smarties.
And snort them.
Yeah, that's what they would do.
Oh, that
And
happened
then
when
they
I
got
was.
suspended.
Kids
And
these
like,
days are
why would you do
so-
that?
Well, kids these days aren't bright anyway. I remember there was a kid in my school who like cut up an eraser and then like snorted it. Snorted it? Snorted is
Wait,
the word?
snorted the eraser?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I thought you said
I-
razor. I was like,
No,
Oh.
no. All right, listen. I don't think anyone's that.
well
Never mind. Actually, I'm
you
gonna
never
cut myself
know.
off. There's someone out there that's dumb. I've seen like the little world records or whatever. Some people are ridiculous.
I've seen Greg snort some things into his nose.
That's just okay.
Pen tube, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nail.
That should be a new magic trick for you, Greg.
That is a magic trick.
No, snorting a razor.
No.
Why not?
No. I'm
That's
just
good
gonna
footage.
stop you right there. Yeah, for like a minute.
If you want to see Greg snort a razor,
comment 1.
no comment, please.
All
That's
right.
Hashtag Greg.
Well, I know we're gonna get at least 3 pleases. Oh, but yeah. So that went a weird place there. But yeah, 3D printed pill technology, good shit.
Yep, I'm gonna say that we're for it.
Yeah, I think Big Box is officially endorsing this. That doesn't mean much. It's not going to get the approval of any like medical societies or anything, but Big Box is for it.
That's right. That means it can't be a bad thing then.
That means it's not a horrible idea.
Well, good point.
You know,
Because it's a semi okay / I don't know, maybe idea.
I mean, I think that was a much higher ending than we could have expected with the previous topics.
Right? Very nice.
All right.
Talking about snorting razors and all this other crap. Yeah. It was a good end. Pretty good end.
This is great.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Gordo, what do you think of your first GNL experience?
I had a wonderful time. And if you want me back, comment too.
Yeah, comment down below if you want Gordo back. Yes, hashtag Gordo's back. You gotta do it as the possessive
I was
Gordo.
thinking that after. I should have said Gordo's back. That one was better.
It's the possessive.
Yeah. If you guys ever want me back, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Maybe insult a few people, offend a few people, teach the youth of America.
There we go.
The children are our future.
Political mission right there.
Well,
it's on a button. He's kissing foreheads and the other thing political people do. Yeah.
I'm rooting youth of America by what I'd be doing. I'd be teaching your kids. All right, never mind. They won't need health class for any parent.
All right.
All right. So final.
Yeah.
That's how.
Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Comment down below for topics for next week's episode, because we're going to try to actually do these weekly again.
Wait. We have to do the final question.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one to you in a second, Griffin. I'm just going through the rest of it. Head on over to the Big Box channel to get the links of all the members. Check in the description down below to get the link to Gordo's channel. If you're into that Call of Duty and review techie stuff. Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because I know a lot of you haven't.
Yeah, and you better like this video.
I have.
Alright, and Griffin, what is the final question of the day?
I didn't actually think about this. Do you like Greg's channel or Tim's channel more?
Oh, jeez.
See you guys next time.